Hello guys, welcome to Family Reaction. My name is Chris.
My name is Lucy.
If you're new to this channel, smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to like and turn on the notification bell.
Ping!
So you can always stay tuned when we go live or do a premiere. 2 videos drop every day, sometimes 3 if you're lucky. Today we will take a look at 15 things you didn't know about India. Jinx. Lucy, okay. Okay, let's jump right into it. We're not going to talk in the end of the video. We are talking during the video.
15 things you didn't know about India. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to another fascinating video. Today we're looking at incredible facts you didn't know about the 7th largest country in the world, India. With a population of over 1 billion people, India is one of the most influential and powerful countries in the world. Its cultural history is particularly complex and detailed, spanning 4,500 years of predominantly Hindu philosophy and theology. Thousands of years later, modern India is profoundly different, with its own colossal film industry, a diverse population, and an astonishingly big workforce. Because alux.com is dedicated to becoming the world's best resource on the most interesting countries and destinations, we couldn't wait to bring you 15 things you didn't know about India.
Let us know.
We want to know.
Number 1. Bollywood's highest-grossing film made 27 times more than Hollywood's highest-grossing film.
Whoa.
For every 600 films Hollywood produces, Bollywood will make 1,000. They're the most profitable films, too, when you compare the numbers. Hollywood's highest-grossing film was 2009's Avatar, which made $2.8 billion at the box office. In stark contrast, the Bollywood film 3 Idiots brought in $76.81 billion. Now that's a profit.
That's a lot.
That is insane.
Number 2. Shampoo was invented in the 16th century, India. Derived from the Sanskrit champu, which means massage, the concept of shampooing was invented in India in the 16th century. Herbs and natural ingredients were used then, rather than today's combination of modern chemicals and fragrances. In particular, gooseberry, saphindus, and fruit pulp. When colonial visitors came to India, they brought the practice of shampooing and hair washing back with them to Europe.
Okay.
Number 3. Diamonds were first mined in India, and it was the world's greatest producer.
Whoa, I didn't know
India was the
that.
most productive diamond mining country in the world until diamonds were found in Brazil in the 18th century. There are now 3 active diamond mines in India, and the famous Kohinoor diamond was found in the 13th century. The 793-carat stone went from person to person and was eventually acquired by Queen Victoria during the British Raj in India.
I hear that crown is cursed though.
Number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Elephants in Kerala can treat themselves to a spa day.
Oh.
Punathuarkata Elephant
elephants.
Yard Rejuvenation Center provides elephants with baths, massages, and soothing pamper sessions.
Oh, that
The
is
spa
so
caters
cute.
to 59 clients and is a way of giving back to the sacred animal. Elephants play an important
awesome.
role in
That's
Kerala's
in
temple
South India,
processions
isn't it?
and are a significant
Kerala.
feature of the region, so they deserve a massage every now and then.
Oh, yes, they do.
Number 5. The largest religious gathering in India can be seen from space.
Wow.
Kumbh Mela is a Hindu pilgrimage which takes people to the banks of the Ganges every 12 years. The major event involves ritualistic bathing, devotional singing, religious discussion, and feeding the poor. The attendance figures had to be capped at 75 million, making it the largest pilgrimage on Earth.
Whoa.
Number 6. Ancient Indian civilization is the oldest in the world. We often look to ancient Greece and ancient Egypt, but Indian civilization dates back to 2400 BC, when it was split into 16 monarchies, known as the Mahajanapadas. There are even authenticated human remains that date back to 30,000 years in South Asia. The oldest Hindu texts were written between 2000 and 500 BC, as well as the first texts on science, medicine, and astronomy. We actually owe the number 0 to Indian mathematics, who created the concept.
Incredible.
Number 7. India is home to every major world religion and doesn't have a national language. Hinduism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, and Sikhism all have a place in Indian society, with the most dominant being Hinduism and Islam, covering 80%, and 14% of the population, respectively. Judaism has existed in India for the last 2,215 years, and some of these smaller religions also featured, including Jain, Zoroastrian, and Baha'i. India also doesn't have a single national language because 1,652 dialects are spoken across the different regions. Number 8. A polling station is set up for just one voter in Gir Forest at every election. Every election, Marant Barandas Deshandas gets his local polling station entirely to himself because he's the only resident of Gir Forest. He's been voting in Indian elections since 2004 and never misses one now that he has his own personal polling station. Mahant is the caretaker for the one temple in the forest in Gujarat, a home he shares with the rare Asiatic lion.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Number 9. The Indian government has used scaffolding to hide the Taj Mahal when airstrikes are predicted. During the Second World War and the Indian-Pakistan Wars, scaffolding was put up around the distinctive domes of the Taj Mahal to make it less obvious from above.
Oh, that's pretty
They feared
smart.
That's
strikes
really
by the
clever.
Japanese Air Force during World War II, so hid their most famous landmark. More recent threats to the Taj Mahal include the rising levels of the Yamuna River,
It's a
which
good-
has
good way
cracked
to
the tomb
protect.
underneath the structure. There have been predictions that the tombs could collapse at any time.
I hear it's symmetrical on
Check
every
out our
side as
video,
well.
15
Wow.
most expensive man-made attractions in the world, to find out what ranks along the stunning Taj Mahal. Number 10. Indians invented navigation, yoga, the world's cheapest car, and thorium-based nuclear power.
Wow.
Indian society can take credit for some of the most important inventions in the world. They were the first to create the concept of navigation, over 6,000 years ago, using rivers and seas. Yoga was created 5,000 years ago and has roots in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. The world's cheapest car, the
And Kung
Tata
Fu.
Nano,
Yeah.
which costs around 100,000 rupees, the equivalent of $1,400. And
Whoa.
India is the home of the first next-generation thorium reactor. The country is aiming to produce 30% of its electrical power with thorium by 2050. Number 11. You can stay at the former Indian royal residence for $88,000 a night. If you want to
Okay,
stay at the
a lot.
lap of luxury, forget Paris and forget Dubai. India is the home of the most stunning palaces in the world.
Wow, it is
Once the home of the
beautiful, yeah.
Maharajas, there are opulent palaces
wanna
throughout
go
the
there.
country, with some dating back
I wish I
hundreds of
Yeah,
years.
like
The
stunning.
Kumarakam
Can't
Lake
afford it.
Resort hosted
Doesn't
Prince
it
Charles's
real?
65th birthday, and the
amazing.
450-year-old
So beautiful.
Samod Palace in Jaipur has hosted famous faces from all over the world.
If we have the money, we want to go there.
We're going.
We're going.
Number 12. King Jai Singh of Alwar snubbed Rolls-Royce in the best possible way. India has a long and colorful history of quirky monarchies and extravagant kings and queens. The King of Alwar in northeast India was insulted by a Rolls-Royce salesman when he visited a showroom in London. A very proud man, he ordered a whole fleet of Rolls-Royce cars and gave them to the city's waste department so they could use them to transport rubbish throughout the city.
Oh.
Number 13. 1 million Indians are millionaires. India has one of the most dramatic wealth
could
gaps
imagine.
in the world, with 35% of the country living below the poverty line. Those who live way above it live a very different kind of life. The richest Indian in the world is Mukesh Ambani, who has a net worth of $53 billion. The
Holy shit.
59-year-old made his money in the oil and gas industry, and his billion-dollar home recently made headlines because he chose to build a 27-story skyscraper instead of a sprawling mansion.
Whoa. There's no in-between, is
Number
there, in
14.
India?
The first account of
Very
plastic
rich or very
surgery
poor?
was found in an ancient Sanskrit text. One of the first medical texts was the Sushruta Samhita, which can be dated back to the 6th century CE. It's one of the very first examples of a medical text and discusses surgery, incisions, skin grafts, and nose reconstruction. Britain's first nose job wouldn't be performed until 1814, a worrying 80 years before the Sushruta Samhita would be translated.
Okay.
Number 15. One of India's most extravagant weddings caused controversy because it was too extravagant. Lasting 5 days and costing $74 million, the wedding of the daughter of a prominent businessman made headlines in 2016 for all the wrong reasons. the $2.5 million wedding sari, Bollywood royalty in attendance, and gold Bangalore Palace setting was denounced as an obscene display of wealth. Millions of Indians live in poverty, so the wedding was criticized for being in poor taste.
I don't think that's right, do you? No.
There are many stereotypical images of India, but there's so much more to this incredible country than many of us know. The center of many industries and the world's biggest democracy,
Well, look at all
India
that.
has influenced
Yeah.
art, literature, science, and medicine potentially more than any other nation. If you could take a trip to this beautiful, fascinating country, where would you find yourself?
Okay,
In a
it's done.
gorgeous...
It's
Yeah.
done. Yeah, yeah. Wow, there were a lot of good things here to know about.
Yeah.
That place where I wanted to visit, that was the former royal
Yeah.
place. I really want to go there. It's 88,000 at night,
Yeah,
but
it
okay,
looks stunning.
okay. If I
Yeah.
could afford it, we would go now
Yeah.
because it was amazing.
Yeah, but what a beautiful, I mean, I know this anyway, but what a beautiful country, and just, I mean, so many incredible things.
Yeah.
They come from India, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't here, but I didn't realise, it was only recently that I've learned that chess was actually invented in India as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I never thought that, you know, so...
Yeah, but what do you expect? There is 1.2 billion people
Yeah,
in
there's
India,
a lot
right?
of people, yeah.
Of course, there should be a lot of inventors there because there are so
Yeah.
many people. There are a lot of brains there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If
absolutely.
you
But I
think
thought
of-
the really interesting one was about shampoo as well. I had no idea about that.
If you think about it, in Denmark, my home country, there are 5 million people in total.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a small country, right? There is
You can't
1.2
compare.
billion, right?
I know.
Of
it's
course,
huge.
they will
It's the
invent
seventh
a
biggest
lot more.
country, isn't it, in the
Yes.
world?
Russia
Yeah.
is the biggest,
Yeah.
the country. But I think there's the
But
most people.
there's just so much
oi.
to offer in India, you know?
And
I mean,
here in a few years, India will be the biggest population in the world. They will have the most people in the world.
really?
China wins now.
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
few years,
Then it'll be
India
India.
wins. Yep.
Wow.
Then they are the biggest country. No,
Yeah.
sorry. They are the biggest population and number 7 in the biggest country. But they also have the best inventors. But if you look at it, all what we are doing comes from them.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Well, that's the
yoga,
thing.
shampoo,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that, right?
Everything, but science, you know, great thinkers,
Mhm.
and yeah, you know, yoga, but then also, you know, it kind of also makes you realize about, you know, like, I don't want to speak negatively now, but when you think about the British Empire, you know, taking over India, I mean, look, that was obviously a business deal for us because India has so much to offer,
Yeah.
and they went in
It
there
wasn't
to
not
get
for
what they
us,
could
but
get.
for Britain.
Well, that's what I mean. It was for Britain, and it was not for, you know, it was for India, and that's what's very sad. But India is clearly an incredible place. It's beautiful. I mean, the scenery as well is just incredible. It's out of this world.
We're gonna
You know?
have a whole discussion about the British Empire soon.
Yeah, that's coming. But you know, it's, you can just see from this, you know, how much India has to offer, you know, and what incredible people have come from India.
I think.
I mean, it's very sad about, obviously, from what we learned there seems to be a huge divide, you know, between rich and poor. You've either got very, very rich,
But
or
that's
very-
that's the thing that I really hate. That there's, especially when you see that guy that is super rich, right? I mean, he could have put a lot of money, spend at least a few billions, right? Maybe just say if you have 53 billion, right? I would have used at least 40 billion. Because I'm rich, I would use 40 billion to all the people. Make sure the government do
I
something.
think it's your responsibility. I think when you have a lot of money, it's your responsibility to, you know, like, you know, to put your
Do a
money into
change.
charities or help other people and things, you know.
And the charity
But that
isn't enough
wedding, that
charity.
was incredible. How much did that wedding cost?
I don't know, I didn't know that.
It was something like, I can't remember, like 78 million or something they spent on a wedding.
I don't know.
They
I
said
didn't hear about
something
the
about
wedding
that.
part.
Yeah,
But,
some extravagant
So
wedding.
listen, you said about
Yeah.
charity. No, charity isn't just good enough if you are a billionaire. Charity
No.
isn't enough. You have
No,
to do
no.
a lot more. That's what I see. If I had like
Well, you
let's say
just-
if I had 10 billion, right, have all what I want, everything, right, then I would have used at least half of that to do something good about the world, give it away, change people, help people, help them out of poverty. That's what I would do because that's who I am.
So you just
But
you
yeah.
invest in places that need it, you know. So it's for the better
Exactly.
of the whole population.
Exactly, but
Yeah, you
also
have to.
also what's really bad if you look about the TV and all that. When you think about it, right, they always showed the the crappy places of India when they're trying to promote it. Like,
well, you never get the true picture. That's the thing.
I never saw India like this in my head. Never. I always thought like you living like when you saw these poor places, very
people
poor,
living
because that's the only
houses,
they always when you look at American TV, all that, right? When they advertise, they only show poverty. They never show, oh, we also have rich people. They never show that. Sure, they show it in films, like they have these amazing buildings and all that, right? But in real life, they only show them like in poverty. They never show the good side.
Well, you can't always trust the media. That's the thing. They just show you what they want you to see. But I didn't know. I mean, I knew that there's a great wealth in India.
They do the same thing with UNICEF. You have seen that. Everybody knows UNICEF. They do the same thing. Help us, we're poor, we don't do anything, right? And UNICEF, you're only helping the company UNICEF, that's it. They are not giving you money or anybody money.
Well, you want to make sure when you do invest your money in charities and things that it actually goes to the people. This is what worries me.
I never want to help charities because many of them are bullshit.
Well, you want to make sure money goes into the hands of the people.
No, I will not give money to charity. I will hand people money. Because then I know the charity won't bullshit, and I'll make sure the people will get the money. Because they're gonna give it to the wrong people, and I'm gonna give it to the right people. Otherwise, they're gonna use it for themselves, like UNICEF. UNICEF don't help people. People say, "Oh, they help." They don't. They don't, and everybody knows that now because UNICEF become rich out of it. Everybody know it. They just use it for themselves, and that's so bad.
Yeah, it's business for them, isn't it? But no, I did know that there was a lot of wealth, in India. But
of course.
I did know that, but I knew it was very it's a real divide, You have very, very rich, but then you have a hell of a lot of poor people, That's why, it'd be quite an eye-opener, I've been told, if you go to certain places and you see the amount of poverty, but, India has so much to offer, and the one place I really want to visit actually is Kerala, South India.
Yeah.
Always wanted to go there. I've heard it's really, really beautiful. And I'd like to go to the Himalayas.
Yeah. One thing I got surprised about, they said yoga come from India, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't also say Kung Fu were invented by India.
And
because, yes, I read that Kung Fu is invented by India. It came by a Chaldean, can't remember, but one from India came to China and taught them everything. Yeah, I even saw a video. It was where I studied about Kung Fu. I wanted to see a real Kung Fu temple, and they said that one from India, a Buddhist, came.
Yeah.
And taught him everything, and China took the credit for it. Yeah. So that's what I read about the Kung Fu. But yeah, correct me. You can correct me.
But how cute! And there's the elephant spa. I thought that was amazing because I think the elephant is you respect the elephant. Sorry, in India, don't you? It's a sacred animal, I think. And I absolutely love elephants. I must say, they're very intelligent. Really intelligent animals.
They never forget.
They don't. They're really, really intelligent. And what a lovely idea. That's so nice. It's so respectful.
Sacred
I love the fact that animals are such an important part of India as well. I think, because my dad actually traveled quite a bit around India, and he said one thing he noticed was just, you'd be sitting in a traffic jam or something, and he said it would be to wait for animals, to go past, and he said they're so respectful. And it was just an incredible thing to see, And I wish everyone was like that here.
They should be like that all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
All over the world.
Yeah. But the scenery, for me, it's very breathtaking. So one day I'm going to go hiking, and I want to visit so many different places in India. I'm excited.
I mean, if we become rich, I definitely want to go into that.
And I want to see the Taj Mahal, obviously, like everyone.
Yeah.
It's stunning, and I actually read recently that it's symmetrical from every side.
Wow.
But it's stunningly beautiful, and reading. Anyway, there's so much to say. I could go on and on, but I'm ranting. It was great. I enjoyed that.
Let me hear what you guys think. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or turn on the notification bell. Bing! So you can always stay tuned when we go live into a premiere. Until next time.
Bye.
That's it, Brian? Yes.